Have you ever stopped to think about the invisible rules that are running our reality? There's this hidden layer of physics, a set of kind of counterintuitive principles that makes everything possible, from your phone to our ability to see the tiniest things in the universe. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on these rules by asking three pretty simple questions. So, how do you actually take a picture of something that's impossibly small? Or, when you're surrounded by a sea of signals, how do you pick just one? And of course, the big one. Can you really get something for nothing? The answers to these questions, well, they reveal some of the most profound, fundamental rules of our world. All right, first up, let's try to see something we're not supposed to be able to see: a single atom. Now, you might be thinking, easy, just get a really powerful microscope and zoom in a lot. But the problem is, well, it's way more fundamental than that. Okay, so for you to see anything, light has to bounce off of it and hit your eye. Simple enough. But here's the catch. A single wave of visible light is thousands of times larger than an atom. It's like trying to feel a tiny little pebble using a giant ocean wave. The wave just rolls right over it. The light wave just bends or diffracts around the atom, leaving it completely invisible to us. That's the logical next step, right? I mean, if your tool is too big, you just get a smaller tool. Gamma rays have a wavelength that's definitely small enough to interact with an atom. But using them creates a brand new problem, and this one is a lot more destructive. Yeah, this quote pretty much nails it. The second that a high-energy gamma ray hits an atom, it doesn't just bounce off neatly. It absolutely blasts the atom apart or sends it flying. You literally destroy the very thing you were trying to see. So, we're stuck. Or are we? This is where modern physics just completely changes the game. It turns out that tiny particles, like electrons, can also behave like waves. I know, it's weird, but stick with me. Here's the crucial part. We can actually control their wavelength just by changing how fast they're going. This gives us a totally new kind of light to play with. So the solution is it's ingenious. Scientists take electrons, they speed them up in an electric field until they have the perfect tiny wavelength. Then they use magnetic fields as lenses to focus this beam of electron waves onto a sample. As the electrons pass through, some get scattered, and that creates this incredibly detailed shadow on a detector. And the result? A stunning picture of the atomic world, all made possible because we decided to treat matter like a wave. Okay, so we figured out how to see the invisibly small. Now, let's talk about how we hear the invisibly present. We're shifting gears from the world of atoms to the world of signals. The radio waves, the Wi-Fi, the cell data that is filling the air all around us right now. Just think about it. The air around you at this very moment is basically an ocean of information. You've got radio stations, TV broadcasts, Wi-Fi networks, all our cell signals. They are all electromagnetic waves vibrating at different frequencies, and they are all hitting the antenna on your device at the exact same time. It is total chaos. So how on earth does your car radio play your favorite music station instead of just playing thousands of songs and news reports all at once? How does it filter out all that noise to find that one signal that you actually want to hear? Well, the answer is this really beautiful principle called resonance. Think about pushing a kid on a swing. If you push at just the right rhythm, the swing's natural or resonant frequency, it goes higher and higher. But if you push at any other rhythm, you basically do nothing. A radio circuit is designed to do the exact same thing. When you change the channel, you're tuning the circuit to resonate with only one specific frequency. It amplifies that one signal, and all the others just fade away into nothing. And now for our final puzzle. This is the one that has tempted inventors and dreamers for centuries: the quest for free energy. Can we really, truly get something for nothing? Okay, imagine this plan. A government minister proposes putting these super powerful magnets on the bottom of a train. Then you line the tracks with loops of copper wire. So as the train zooms along, the magnets pass through the loops. And according to Faraday's law, this moving magnetic field will create an electric current in the wire. Boom! Free electricity for everybody, just from the train making its normal trip. It sounds kind of brilliant, right? But hold on a second. Physics has some really strict rules. And if you're creating electrical energy, you have to be taking that energy from somewhere else. It can't just appear out of thin air. So, what's the catch? Where's the cost? This brings us to one of the most fundamental, absolutely unbreakable rules in all of physics.
You can't create energy from nothing, and you can't make it disappear. You can only convert it from one form to another. So if we're making electrical energy, we have to be paying for it with some other kind of energy. No exceptions. And here it is. Here's the hidden cost. The electric current that we're generating in those copper loops, it creates its own magnetic field. And this new field is perfectly aligned to push back against the magnets on the train. It literally creates a magnetic drag, a force that is actively trying to slow the train down. So here's the bottom line. You are not getting free energy. Not even close. What you're doing is stealing the train's kinetic energy, its energy of motion, and converting it into electrical energy. To keep the train moving at the same speed, the engine now has to work harder and burn more fuel to fight that magnetic drag. Every single watt of electricity comes at a price. So, after all that, what have we learned from these three puzzles? Well, we've actually uncovered a few of the fundamental, invisible rules that are constantly shaping our reality, whether we notice them or not. To see the unseeable, we had to embrace wave-particle duality, this bizarre idea that matter itself can be a wave. To hear one voice in a sea of noise, we used resonance, this elegant way of filtering the world by frequency. And to understand the true cost of power, we have to respect the law of energy conservation, which always reminds us that in physics, just like in life, there is really no such thing as a free lunch. You see, these rules aren't just abstract theories in a textbook. They are the operating system of the entire universe, working quietly in the background of everything we do. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other profound, unseen rules are out there, just waiting for us to figure them out?